Historical views of childhood. So there are three types of historical views of childhood: the original sin, the tabula rasa view, and the innate goodness view. So the first historical view of childhood is the original sin, which is basically the belief of people that when a child is born, they are bad or evil. This was advocated during the Middle Ages. They also believed that the children must provide any kind of salvation for them to be cleansed or to remove their sins. Meanwhile, the tabula rasa was proposed by an English philosopher, John Locke. He believed that the children are not innately bad, but instead they are like blank tablets. He also suggested that the parents of the children should spend more time with them because childhood experiences are important for them to be a good adult and can contribute to the society and the community. Lastly, the innate goodness view, which was presented by a French philosopher in the name of Jean-Jacques Rousseau. He emphasized that the children are naturally good. They just need guidance from their parents and elders, guidance that can help them grow naturally. Our view of children has dramatically changed. Thus, many modern approaches are improvised to help the children become a much more responsible and reliable adults.
Good day everyone, my name is Arman Narciso, and for today's topic is the current concerns about today's children, and we're also be discussing the three topics, which is the health and well-being, the education, and social cultural context such as culture, ethnicity, and gender development. Now let's go with the current concerns about today's children. The topics and news that we read and hear every day, whether in newspaper, magazines, or and on the internet, are mostly centered about children's welfare. It is important for us to provide up-to-date coverage of these roles of the following modern-day concerns of today's children's. Sorry. Health and well-being. Although we have become obsessed with health and well-being brought about by the COVID-19 world pandemic and many other factors, we are still jeopardized by many interrelated factors such as poverty, starvation, loss of livelihood, poor quality healthcare, inadequate nutrition, alcohol and drug abuse, violence against women and children, mental health. These are examples of the effects many children experiencing this very instance. Next topic, we have the education. Education, like parenting, is a extremely important dimension in children's life. Education takes place in many places. Children learn from the environment at home, from their parents, siblings, relatives, neighbors, peers, schools, and church. Aside from books, watching televisions, social media, and the internet. But many of Filipinos don't have access to computers and other digital tools at home to make their blended learning worthwhile. Hence, the value of tech in learning affects many students. Parents and guardians' top concerns with this are money for mobile load, lack of gadget, poor internet signal, students struggle to focus and learn online, parents' lack of knowledge of their kids' lessons. Next topic, we have the social cultural context such as culture, ethnicity, and gender development. These concepts are central in the discussion of children and adolescents' development. It is like finding out if the children today are tolerant about cultural differences among other children. Culture encompasses the behavioral pattern, belief, and other products of a particular group of people that are passed on from generations to generation. For example, for Filipinos, we We show respect to our elders by practicing the mano po, opo, but some Filipino children, they no longer practice this behavioral pattern. Next, we have the ethnicity. Ethnicity is rooted in the cultural heritage, nationality, race, characteristics, religion, and language. Ethnic identity refers to the sense of membership in a ethnic group based on a shared language, religion, customs, and values, history, race such as, for example, the Cebuanos, Bicolanos, Ilocanos, and Muslim. Some Filipino children discriminate the ethnic groups. Next topic is we have the gender. Gender involves the psychological and socio-cultural dimension of being male and female. Sex refers to the biological dimension of being a male and female. But in our society, today has a changing view and attitude about gender sensitivity. Some Filipino children are confused. They don't know how to interact with them or confront them. Next topic, we have the gender and development. Development developed in the early 90s 80s as a alternative to women in development approach. It was a specifically focused in the way in which a society assigned roles, responsibilities, and expectation to both men and women. The Philippine Commission on Women defined gender and development as the development perspective and process that is particulatory and empowering, equitable, sustainable, free from violence, respectful of human rights, supportive of self-determination, and actualization of human potential. Gender and developments, or God. The purpose of God is to ensure that both men and women can participate in and benefit from development in a way that is equitable. In view of widespread disparity, it is a process compromising both short-term and long-term objectives, practical and strategic needs. An example of this, we have the social policy. Social policy refers to the national government course of action designed to promote the welfare of its citizens. The shape and scope of our policy related to children's welfare are tied to our political system. Specific example of social policies are the K to 12 is a educational system that under the Department of Education that aims to enhance learners' basic skills. K stands for kindergarten and 12 refers to the succeeding 12 years of basic education. Second, we have the Bayanihan, to heal as one act, also known as the Bayanihan Act. Third, we have the Republic Act 9262, an act defining violence against women and their children. Again, we have also another set of example, which is the development agencies, which serves to deepen segmentations in social provisioning. These are social policies such as Republic Act 10931, Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act, Signed. Second, we have the Republic Act 11223, Universal Healthcare Act. 3, we have the Philippine Constitution of 1987 mandates that education gets the highest budgetary allocation. Number 4, we have the Republic Act 10351, which allocates 80% of the incremental increase in revenues from excess taxes on alcohol and tobacco. Number 5, we have the Republic Act of 9995, signed into law in July 2009, expands benefit from the non-contributory pension system for the elderly. Number 6, we have the Republic Act 11310, Pantawid Pamilya Filipino Program, bridging program for the Filipino family, also known as the 4-Piece Act. And lastly, we have the number 7, Republic Act 10963, the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion Act. Out of the concerns that our policy makers are doing so little to protect the well-being of our children, we still hope the undertaking of the government will eventually, through wise and effective decision in making the social policies effective in the nearby future. With this, we can see that the government is really doing their best to help us out. And that's all. That's all for today.
My name is Jasmine Rose Sanson and my topic is topic 3, which is the developmental processes and periods. These include the biological, cognitive, and socio-emotional processes. The biological processes explain the changes of our physical nature. These include the body, the hair, and formation of the body. While the cognitive process talks about the individual, intelligence, and language. The mental action or the understanding and knowledge of a person. While the socio-emotional is about the relationship with the other people, also about the changes of emotions and personality. This is a form of relation with the other people. And these are the developments. Development is lifelong, means that the development does not end in infancy or childhood or any specific age. It covers our entire lifespan. B is development is plastic, means that the characteristics are changeable. C is development is multidimensional, means that is involved the interaction of the factors like physical, emotional, and psychological development. D is development relatively orderly. This is with the later abilities, skills, and knowledge. Means when a child has developed abilities before they develop others. Like example, the child started to walk, instead he learned to sit down by himself. E is the development that takes gradually, means it continues development views a cumulatively process. Changes are gradual. F is development is contextual or individuals. Is about a perspective that views human development. And lastly, G is development involves growth, maintenance, and regulation. It is not important to seek growth in intellectual and physical, such as memory and physical strength. That's all.
A pleasant day to each and everyone. I am Beverly Jane Entera and I'll be discussing to you the periods of human development. So what is human development? Human development refers to the series of physiological, psychological, and social changes that occurs in an individual progress from birth to adulthood. So in this discussion, we will know more about the various periods of human development, including the prenatal, infancy, childhood, adolescent, and adulthood. So next, we will discuss about the prenatal period. The prenatal period is the stage of development that begins at conception and lasts until birth. It is further divided into 3 trimesters: the germinal stage, the embryonic period, and the fetal period. So next, we have the infancy. Infancy refers to the stage of development from birth to around 2 years of age. During this period, infants experience rapid physical, cognitive, and emotional growth. Next is the childhood. Childhood spans from approximately 2 years of age to the onset of adolescence. This period is characterized by significant physical, cognitive, and social change. Next, we have the adolescence. Adolescence is a transitional period between childhood and adulthood, spanning from 10 years to 9 years of age. This stage is marked by profound physical, cognitive, social, and emotional changes. And last but not the least, we have the adulthood. Adulthood represents the stage of life that follows adolescence and extends until end of life. It is further divided into early adulthood, the middle adulthood, and the late adulthood. Understanding the various periods of human development is essential for comprehending the complex processes that shape individual from birth to adulthood. By exploring the prenatal period, infancy, childhood, adolescence, and adulthood, we gain valuable insight into unique challenges, milestones, and influential factors that shape human growth and maturation. This knowledge can aid parents, educators, and healthcare professionals in fostering healthy development and well-being across the lifespan.
So the last topic that we're going to discuss is about developmental issues. So it is the most important issues in the studies of children's development includes the role of nature versus nurture, continuity versus discontinuity, and early versus later development. Nature versus nurture. It is unconditioned stimulus is a type of stimulus that leads to an automatic response. It is the opposite of a conditioned stimulus where the response is learned rather than automatic. In the context of nature versus nurture debate, nature refers to biological heredity and genetic predispositions inherited by individuals from their parents at birth. This includes physical characteristics such as eye color, facial features, personality traits, and behavioral tendencies. Nurture, in the context of nature versus nurture debate, is used to describe environmental factors that influence an individual's development. This includes a variety of influences such as parenting style, educational experiences, and cultural background. So next is continuity versus discontinuity issue. Continuity refers to the view that development is gradual, continuous process. Discontinuity refers to the view that development occurs in a series of distinct stages. A similar debate exists concerning nature versus nurture. So these two are competing theories in developmental psychology that attempt to explain how people change through the course of their lives, where the continuity theory says that someone changes throughout their life along a smooth course, while the discontinuity theory instead contends that people change abruptly. These changes can be described as a wide variety of someone's social and behavioral makeup, like their emotions, traditions, and beliefs. So lastly is the early and later experience. It is a number of lifespan developmentalists stress that too little attention has been given to later experiences in development.
People in Western cultures tend to support the idea that early experiences are more important than later experiences. By contrast, the majority of people in the world do not share this belief. It focuses on whether early experiences, especially in infancy, are most important in development than later experiences.